I'm joined today by one of the former X Factor finalists, Adam Chandler. Hello, Adam.
Hello, Pete.
Is there any tips you can give people that go for the audition process?
You just try not to be nervous. Really, some kind of nerves can affect your voice and affect your singing. So try not to be nervous. I know it's easier said than done, but the best thing to think, I find, is think that you won't get the audition, and then you find that you go in there with a bit more of a laid-back attitude, and you seem to care less about the audition, which relaxes you. Yeah, and then you can sing a bit better, I find. That's just my preference. A few people are like that. Okay.
Do you ever prepare for what nerves are actually going to do to you, in terms of try to expect that you're going to be a bit shaky or?
Yeah, I mean, like take Simon Cowell, for instance. Seeing Simon Cowell, you can't really prepare for that. It's just kind of, you think you'll be all right, and then you're actually in front of him and the other judges, and it's kind of a bit like, okay, this is a bit more nerve-wracking than I actually thought it would be. But with like general auditions that you go for, say for instance one in a stage magazine or something, where it's a bit more low key, I just kind of tell myself that I haven't got the audition. It's just more of a learning curve than anything else, and then that seems to settle me. Just playing mind games with myself, really, and then
so it takes the pressure off.
Yeah, exactly. I've got the, yeah. As long as there's no pressure, then it seems a lot easier. So it kind of works well like that.
So it's a psychological approach to it, really, just sort of stepping down in your mind. I mean, everybody says, "Oh, be positive," but sometimes it's good just to hold back a little bit.
Yeah, for me, definitely. Especially, I find, like with the first auditions, the like earlier auditions as well. If there's rounds of auditions, I find that by having a little bit of nerves, but not too much, is good, because you never actually show off your full potential then anyway. So I kind of feel that you should grow through audition stages, so that they see that you're growing, opposed to being at a certain standard each time. That's how I look at it anyway.
Okay. So do you have a vocal technique that you can share with the people watching this?
Yeah, I mean, I tend to put a story to every song. It might be different to other people's stories that they put to that song, but then I try and portray that when singing it, using different textures, kind of the way you'd speak a story, really. You use different textures, so it's the same with singing. I find that you use different parts of your voice and different sort of volumes and levels and stuff to create kind of the path through the story, really.
Okay, so you keep basically keeping the vocal texture that you've got changing and developing. So maybe using the different sort of resonating areas within the body to change the texture.
Exactly, yeah.
As well as basic sort of volume changes as well.
Yeah, and other like, obviously, yeah, diction techniques and everything like that. Just kind of things that will explain what you're singing to an audience, rather than just the lyrics. You need to deliver a performance kind of thing. So I kind of use musical theatre background. Made that a little bit easier for me, maybe, to be able to do that. But
okay. So you got the drama in the song.
Yeah, exactly. I find that obviously love songs and stuff are a lot easier to do that with, because it's an obvious story. But there are songs out there that aren't so obvious, but you just make a story up yourself then, and see this song how you want to see it and relate it to something in your life, and then it becomes more impactful.
So how often do you practice?
Well, I sing every day, so I'm practicing every day anyway. But technique, probably once or twice a week. Initially, before I discovered a technique that was right for me, kind of a lot, really, until you reach a point that you're quite comfortable and happy with your voice and how it's sounding and stuff. Then you're constantly changing your technique, and sometimes you don't even know you're doing it. It's just something that happens, and after a period of time, it just becomes natural. Then when you're singing, you're just applying a technique, and then in some songs you'll think, okay, I can change things up here by using different styles, different techniques and stuff. And so yeah, every day pretty much, really. So I'm always singing, so yeah, every day.
So I mean, you've done literally hundreds of performances. You performed in some of the sort of major venues across the UK.
Yeah.
Is there anything still now that you're not happy about in terms of your voice?
Yeah, I mean, there's always things that I'd like to be able to do, like I'd like to be able to do like licks and trails a lot better than I can. Mess about my voice in that sense a lot more of an R&B feel. But although I don't sing R&B, I kind of like to have that texture there, not to use all the time. But if I was to ever challenge a song that needed that, I would be able to do that. It's just because for the last year or 2 years I've been around a lot of singers that are incredible at it.
And what sort of things are you doing at the moment?
I'm in a band called Sketch, which is a duo. It's a little bit off the wall, really, writing stuff about sort of personal experiences, kind of funny stuff about London it girls, London, cheating, which don't do, it's a bad thing, but just experiences that we've gone through, the pair of us, and chavs is another thing we write about. So kind of just a comical, but it's serious in some ways, and kind of melodic path. So have a look. It's www.myspace.com/sketchofficial. That is it. Yeah, sketchofficial. Yeah.
Sure.
Definitely sketchofficial. But yeah, have a look if you want to.
Obviously, it was quite a few years ago now when you first stepped into the studio to do some work with me. What was your reasons initially for taking voice training?
I was always quite interested in singing, more musical theatre wise. Really, I studied dance and stuff when I was younger, so sort of a trail off of that really was singing. So I was more interested in not the dance side of things, but musical theatre, the whole sort of acting, singing, and dancing. Then realised that I was more capable at singing really when I first come to you, and I think the first lesson you sort of studied my voice, I suppose, and I think we worked on Mustang Sally, I think the first lesson, which was the first time I'd heard the song. That kind of gave me a love of soul then from that day really. So kind of that's where I think I focused on the most really, was sort of the soul aspect and getting sort of a warm depth tone to my voice really, and taking it from there kind of thing.
Okay, I find with a lot of people, the build up to like a first singing lesson is quite terrifying.
Yeah.
And a first lesson can be quite nerve wracking for a lot of people. But how did you feel once you'd had that initial session with me and when you actually left?
Yeah, before I got there I was nervous, and I was only young as well, so it's quite daunting. But yeah, it was weird, a weird feeling really. I was really kind of more excited than anything, I guess, about where, even though when you're young you want to be things, don't you? So I was kind of more excited about what I wanted to be, and that it was more possible to get where I wanted to go kind of thing. So yeah, the lesson gave me that really, I guess.
Excellent. And it's great sort of sitting here with you quite a few years later and seeing you actually made that happen, which is
halfway there now again, so it's going all right.
Still a lot more to grab.
Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant.